Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. Welcome to Officers Adda 247 class. So as IABF announced the JIB date, so I hope everyone has started your preparation for the upcoming examination of the JIB. So basically you have to manage the three papers and I think everyone started, everyone just make the perfect study plan, perfect timetable for your study hours. Okay. So before to begin this session, I would like to see if you have not downloaded the Adda 247 application, download and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel so that you can get notifications from our side. Okay. So there is something big is going to become and that would reveal on the 3rd of April. So just do not forget to just do not forget to watch that this session at the 11th of AM. And for that you just press the bell icon and just hit the subscribe button so that you can get notification from our side. And get ready bankers, something big is going to become. Okay, so that would reveal on the 3rd of April at 11 AM, right? One more update, our target batch that is actually started and your AB class is going to start from the 18th of the April. So there is a very high time, then you should just enroll in this batch because you are going to get the multiple mock tests, multiple ebooks, as well as the live sessions where you can directly interact with us. Okay, so let's start today's session and do not miss out the golden chance because you have to just use the code Y422. With this code you are going to get the big discount on any batch, on any jab and cap product like mock test, ebooks. Okay, so today's topic is a very important, like debit and credit concept we are going to understand because debit and credit concept actually is a basic of your accounting. And from that, if you understand very well the debit and credit concept, so many chapters you can easily understand in the accounting. Okay, so let's start today's session. Is with the introduction of the debit and credit. As you know, in the last sessions we actually discussed like how we make the cash book. Okay, and we understand that cash book is actually behave like the journal as well as a ledger, right? So while making the cash book we actually just make by the two side, like one side is the left side, another one is a right side. On the left side, which is just named as a debit side, and on the right side which is named as a credit side. All right. Okay, so in cash book we actually make the two sides for entering the transactions of any like if any transactions is going to be occurred in any business. Okay, so suppose that this is this is your business, and in this business is suppose that any transactions is just going to be occurred. Okay, so for any type of the transactions, for entering any type of the transactions, we have to make the two sides. There is a one side which is named as a debit side, one side that is named as a credit side. Okay, so generally in the examination, like one type of the question you also get where you have to just written like this, like the left side of the cash book is known as the. Okay, and like that you are getting the multiple options for that. So you have to understand in the cash book the left side that is known as a debit side, and the right side which is known as a credit side. Okay, I hope this is clear for everyone. Now the left side of an account is called the debit and the right side of an account is called the credit. So recording entry on the left side of any account is just understandable as the debiting the account. Okay, is just understandable as a debiting the account. And recording entry on the right side of an account, that is known as the, or you can also say that is called as a crediting the account. Okay, so that is the that is the features of the cash book. You have to understand like this. So the account while recording on the left side of an account is generally understandable as a debiting the account. Okay, one more important thing I would like to say, if there is a difference between the total debit and the total credit. Okay, so that is actually known as your account balance. Okay, so you suppose that in the examination there are multiple options are given and where just mentioned like this, that is account balance is actually is your total debit minus total credit. Okay, so that is actually understandable as your account balance. So account balance, the difference between the total debit and the total credit is known as a total is known as your account balance. Okay. Now we understand another important thing, like in the previous session, one more important thing we understand about the double entry bookkeeping system. Okay. As I earlier explained, like whenever we are talking about the double entry, we, in the accounting, every name itself represent, right? If I'm saying that double entry bookkeeping system, that means every debit entry has its credit entry. Okay, that means in the double entry bookkeeping system means the recording of both the aspects. Okay, so every debit entry has its credit entry. So you only have to understand whenever you see the word like double entry bookkeeping system. So you have to understand like this, like every debit entry has its a credit entry. Okay. So every transaction, so whatever the transactions is occurring in any business, suppose that in business, some transactions may be like you purchase of furniture for your company. Okay, so you purchase a furniture for cash for your company. Okay, so that means you actually just purchasing the furniture for just for just giving the cash, in respect of the cash you actually purchasing the furniture. So this is also understandable as a transaction. Okay, so that means you have to make the two entries, so they are actually affecting the two accounts. Okay, so you have to understand like this. So double entry bookkeeping system means the recording of both the aspects, like every debit entry has its a credit entry. Okay, I hope it is understandable. So basically every transaction affects the two accounts, like one account is actually receiving a benefit, one account is actually receiving a benefits, and another account would giving the benefit. So would giving a benefit of like some values. So that is understandable as a every transactions affecting the two accounts. So whenever you see the word like double entry bookkeeping system in the examination as well, so you have to understand this is nothing but every debit entry has its a credit entry. That's it. Okay, so I hope it is understandable for everyone. Now we are going to understand individual cases. Like yesterday class, we actually discussed how many type of the accounts or broadly classifications of the account. Okay, so accounts is actually classified into two categories, or you can also say accounts is classified into two broadly categories. The first category that is known as a personal account, and another category that is known as the impersonal account. Okay, so that all we actually discussed in yesterday's session, that account is broadly classified into two categories, right? So in personal account we actually discussed there may be a two accounts, there may be a three type of the accounts. The one that is known as a natural personal account, another one that is known as your artificial personal account, and the third one that is known as the representative personal account, right? And in the impersonal account, we actually discuss another two type of the account, that is known as a real account as well as the nominal account. Okay, so what we have to do and how to make the debit and credit entry for any type of the transaction. So that this is a very easy thing if you just understand very well whatever just I am going to convey here, right? So what we have to do, we have to actually just we have to recognize, like in this whatever the transactions that is going to be occur, in that is there personal account involved, or is there real account involved, or is there nominal account involved? We have to just analyze the transaction. After that we have to apply the golden rule of the accounting of the particular account. Like if I'm talking about the personal account, so suppose that for the example, if I'm saying that, suppose that this is a person A and this is a person B. So suppose that A is just purchase a furniture from B on the credit. Okay. So that means what I'm going to convey here, that is there is the involvement of the person Mr. B. If I have to make the if I have to make the debit and credit entry, so for the very first thing we have to do, we have to realize like what type of the accounts is actually involved in this particular of the transaction. So like Mr. A is purchasing the furniture from the Mr. B on credit. That means there is a actually involvement of the two account. One is a furniture and another one is the Mr. B. Okay. So now the very important thing we have to understand that Mr. B account should be debit or credit. Okay. So in that scenario, who is giving? Okay, we have to credit that person's account, and who is receiving, we have to debit that person's account. So in that scenario, because here in this transaction is let me just write here. Okay, so what things we are actually understand here, that is Mr. A actually purchased furniture from Mr. B on credit. Okay, so the very first thing we have to just analyze the transactions, like which accounts involved here. So the very first thing that there is a involvement, one account that would be your furniture account, and another one account that would be your Mr. B account, right? Okay, so now the another thing that Mr. B is actually belongs to your personal account, right? Okay, so Mr. B is actually belongs to the personal account, and for the personal account we actually say debit the receiver and credit the giver. So in that scenario, Mr. B actually giving. Okay, so giving the furniture on credit, that means in that scenario Mr. B account should be credit. Okay, I hope it is understandable, right? So furniture account, that we understand in the different account category. Okay, so we have to just analyze the transactions. After that we have to recognize like which accounts probably included in any particular transaction. After that we have to make the debit as well as a credit entry. Okay, so definitely it is understandable for everyone. If you just understand, if you just recognize one transaction, then another transaction would definitely would be the debit, because we understand every debit entry has its a credit entry. So that's it for this. Okay, I hope it is understandable. Now another case, that is your real account. So in for the real account, actually golden rule of accounting says debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Okay, the very important thing you have to understand, that in the real account, that all assets comes under the real account category. And for the real account, golden rule of the accounting says debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So whatever is just coming in, we have to debit that, and whatever is going out, we have to credit that. That's it. Okay. So for the real account, if I'm just talking about an example, suppose that a furniture is just purchased for the cash, right? So if I'm talking about like in the previous example we discussed, actually the Mr. A purchased furniture from Mr. B, but this time is for the cash. Okay, so now the very first thing what we have to do, we have to analyze the transactions, like what type of the accounts is actually involved here, right? So the first account, that would be definitely your the furniture account, and another one account that would be your the cash account. So in that scenario, if you are just going to understand, cash is your asset, and asset is if what we say that credit what goes out. So whatever is going out. So in that scenario is actually your cash is going out from your business, right? If you just purchase anything for from anything for your business from anyone for just a cash purpose, so you can understand definitely like this is a cash which comes in your asset. Okay, and assets that would put under the real account category. And for the real account, we actually understand debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So we have to credit the cash account. So that's it for the real account. Okay, now understand another important account category, that is nominal account. So for the nominal account, golden rule of the accounting says debit all the expenses and credit all the incomes and gains. So we actually say debit all the expenses, debit all the expenses or losses, and credit all the incomes and gains. Okay, So in the business, if any expenses is going to be like, suppose that any company is providing the salary to its staff, so salary is actually the company's expense. Okay, so we have to debit that account and credit all the incomes, like whatever the income is generating from the business of any company, that means income is we have to credit. So whatever the expenses or losses is going to be occur in the business, we have to debit that, and whatever the income and gains is going to become, we have to credit that. That's it. Okay, so I hope it is understandable for everyone. So suppose that if I'm talking about, like, this is a company XYZ Limited, and this company is actually providing a salary to one of its staff. Okay, so like a company is providing the salary, just involved here cash also, just company is providing salary for the cash to one of its employee. So there would be two accounts involved. The first account, that would be the salary account. Okay, and another one account, that would be your cash account. Okay, so now another important thing we have to understand, cash would comes, like cash is actually just going out from the business. That means cash would be the credit here, as well as salary is your expense, and expense we actually put under the category of the nominal account. And for the nominal account, golden rule of the accounting says debit all the expenses. So salary account would be the debit and cash account would be the credit. Okay, so that's it for your nominal accounts also, right? So golden rule of the accounting, that is a very important concept, and this is a very important concept, and that we understand in the different examples also. Okay, so the basic thing that you actually have to recognize what type of the personal accounts, okay, what type of the real accounts that is a possible, what type of the nominal accounts that is a possible. So definitely you have to understand the proper definition as well as the examples of that, and from that you actually just able to make the debit and credit transactions of debit and credit entry for any type of the transactions in the examination. Okay, so that we will understand one by one, so do not worry about that. The very basic thing that you actually understood about the golden rule of the accounting, and like for the personal account, you have to understand like this. If I'm talking about any person, so suppose that I'm just here writing here, that is personal. So personal, that means this is a person. So person is either received or either in the category of the giving, right? So that you have to understand for the golden rule of the accounting, that says the debit the receiver and credit the giver, right? If I'm talking about the real account, so real account, that belongs to your asset, like all assets would considered would just keep under the real account category. So no, assets, what we understand by the assets either just come into the business or just goes out from the business, so that all just put under the real account category. So debit what comes in and credit what goes out, so that would keep under the real account category. Okay, now another, that is nominal account. Nominal account, like all the expenses, all the income, all the gains, that would keep under the nominal account category. So you have to understand like this, debit all the expenses and credit all the income. I hope it is understandable for everyone, right? So now I'm just now I'm just want to say I just want to say, your exam is just only 35 to 40 days left away, and this is a time when you should just start and gear up your preparation, because you actually have to manage the three papers, and managing the three papers is not an easy task for anyone. Okay, so basically you have to tackle with the three papers, so that means you should just make the study plan, you should just make the timetable. And if you just if you just if I just want to say anything to you, that is that you have to make the timetable, or say you have to just make the time at least 2 hours in the morning as well as 2 hours in the evening. Okay, at least. Okay, so that's it for this session, and I'm just like in any batches, if you just want to enroll in any kind of the batch, if you just enroll in any kind of the mock test ebooks, so you only have to use the code Y422, and with this you are going to get a big discount on on any batches. Okay, so just do not forget to just apply the code, right? So so now I'm going to show you how you can enroll in a target batch, because this target batch is a very important if you are aiming for this upcoming JAIIB examination. Okay, because this is a not a exam where you can get the easy moderate question. Here you have to be a fully focused on the basic concepts of every subject. Okay, and that all you are getting in our target batch, like you will get everything like mock test, ebooks, as well as the live sessions. Okay, and that's a very important for clearing your examination. So now I'm just showing you how you can enroll in a target batch. So you just first have to visit the Adda 247 website. Let me show here. Okay, so this is your adda247.com, that is your website, and after that you have to go to the JIB CIB section, where you can find the JIB CIB and another competitive examination related videos. Okay, so you have to go to the JIB section, where you can find multiple batches that is actually running for you. Okay, you can enroll in any kind of the batch, and meanwhile you can also enroll in any particular batch like PPB, LRB, AFB. Okay, so I'm just talking about, if I'm talking about the new target batch that is already started, and your AB class is going to start from the 11th of April. Okay, so you have to simply just go to the JIB target batch, and where you can find multiple things that is equally important for you, like mock test you are getting, ebooks you are getting, and 130 hours live classes you are getting. And the most important thing, that the study plan, like PPB study plan, AB study plan, and LRAB study plan, you all are going to get this. Okay, after that you have to go to the buy now section, where you have to use the code, that is Y422. Let me write here. So you have to use the code Y422, and with this code you are going to get a maximum discount. Okay, so you can see now the price is so much reduced, and this is, this is a very right opportunity that you all should enroll in our target batch. Okay, because this is only one time investment, right? So now I would like to say thanks for watching me here. Thanks for joining me here. Like this video if you're liking our effort, liking our content. Share this video to your friends so that maximum number of our colleagues can join with us. So once again, thanks for watching me here.